Okay, before we begin, I would just like to put out my disclaimer because now I gotta start doing this shit now because of things going on. I'll go into more specifics about what we're gonna be talking about today. Uh, disclaimer: we're gonna have different opinions. It's gonna happen, guys. We're all human beings. We can talk. We can have a difference of opinion. I don't care. If you want to say what I think is wrong, okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. We can have a civil, nice conversation about it. And if you don't like it, well, then just get over it, you crybabies. Alright, so this is going to be more of a serious stream on the channel. Not necessarily too serious to where it's like, oh, this is going to be the darkest stream ever. Like, it's going to be like Dark Knight levels of serious, or it's going to be like the most serious thing ever. Like, it's going to be like so everyone's going to cry and everyone's going to. No, it's not going to be anything like that. Today I figured we could go into a topic that not a lot of people really talk about, unless it has. I don't know, like no one really talks about it in like a certain context, and that's drama. Because what do you mean by that? Well, there are going to be those people that just do drama. Like people have their drama videos. They're always like calling people out, doing those usual, I don't know, diss tracks, whatever the kids call them these days. Um, they will go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, we days like this." Um, and then there's infighting places, and I talk about drama today because I've been seeing a lot more drama lately. And I figured today we could, like, we're not going to go into specific drama, but I figured we could just go into drama in general. Like, not like go into specific cases, but like talk about drama. Like, let's talk about how we can fix things, or like just talk about like drama in general. Like, how to actually resolve drama, like how to go into a situation like that. I guess it's this is something that needs to be said. I'm not saying that it's going to happen with everybody, and by all means, people might have different takes, and I want to hear everybody's takes. I want to hear what you guys have to say. All right, so this is gonna be one of those streams where I'm not gonna start off with anybody really getting up there. I'm not gonna let everybody can do their stuff at the end, but I want to like focus a majority of the stream. I want to focus, especially at the beginning, is like I'm not like going to specifics, but like go like talk about like maybe like experiences with drama, like maybe stuff like how like things like people could have went about it. So Ninja, I'll start with you. Like,
Okay. All right. Everyone. So basically, I am the guy who I don't like drama. Okay, I don't like when friends in which we know that they're friends, we have fights in which it's normal. All right, it's normal at first, but after you've been friends with someone for so long, you don't expect there to be as much drama. But now I will say within like the past I think 2 months, there's been a lot of drama. Like guys, you don't barely see it because you guys, the viewers, are like backstage. Like you guys don't really understand our story, if you understand. Like the people who we work with, if you understand. There's been a lot of drama. Some are fake drama in which I hate, such as someone spreaded rumors about a week ago that someone wanted to replace me as Supreme Leader, the droid community leader, in which that was totally false, and it created a lot of drama between this person, me, and the whole droid community, and it made me kind of panic a little bit at first, until then we all sorted out and we talked to each other's differences and everything. And I'm sick and tired of drama. I'm sick and tired of real drama and fake drama as well. It's like people just want drama. And that should not be the way that we go into YouTube. Because here's the thing, YouTube is supposed to be a stress reliever. We're trying to do stuff that's fun. This is a hobby, not a job, guys. And if it is your job, then okay, yeah, you should take it serious. But still, it should be fun with you, and there should not be drama on YouTube or on Twitter or on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. Drama just needs to stop with everyone, not just our community, a lot of people's communities and a lot of people in general. And that's what I have to say about drama for right now, Austin. Thank you for letting me talk first.
Okay, actually very nice. I enjoyed that. You basically took everything I was gonna say. Zach, what do you think about just drama and stuff?
Personally, like I was just telling you guys backstage that with this particular quarrel going on, I'm just staying out of it. I still have my own fist to fry. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want peace. I got my own channel to maintain, and I'm still supporting this group, Rob's channel, and all that. I'm still gonna watch his streams. I am still a supporter.
And here's the thing, though,
But
too.
I'm just keeping to myself as far as until this whole quarrel blows over.
Right, and the thing is I want to add on to everybody's stuff is, well, I'll add on to Ninjoid's first, is that, me and Ninjoid have had our disagreements, we've had our fights, but it happens, friends are going to fight, every once in a while, that, it's just a way of, it's going to happen, there are times where a misunderstanding happens, and then, we then proceed to, we will argue, it's going to happen. We've had a couple of misunderstandings that might have been blown up in proportion. But at the end of the day, I think it's more about handling it. Now, were there instances where the cooler head should have prevailed? Absolutely. Did it have, were there points where the argument just went kind of nowhere and was for nothing? Sure. But at the end of the day, drama, especially now, yes, we're going to have drama here and there. But it's now getting to a point where it's people are now just trying to start drama to start drama. And I'm sorry, if you're one of those people that's just starting drama to start drama, get a life. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Get a life. Because I'm pretty sure more people have other things to do. A lot of people probably have better things to do than, start shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, are there instances where it's okay, is there instances where, okay, it's just unavoidable? Absolutely. Because regardless, I'm not saying that drama is going to be eradicated completely, because it's not. Drama is just going to happen regardless. There are times where, okay, I get it. There are times where, okay, if someone actually did something wrong and it involved a lot of people, then yes. I agree that there are points where, okay, if someone's going to talk down to you, or if you feel like something's wrong, then you have the right to speak up. I agree with that. But again, when people start drama to start drama, because this has also happened too. People will start drama because either they have nothing better to do, or they start drama because of misunderstanding. Now, before we even talk maybe in more specifics, here are ways that people could avoid this. 1, if you're having a problem with somebody, message them privately first and say, hey, and try to sort it out there. If someone screws up, then just talk to them privately and say, hey, look, I screwed up, but let's talk. Let's talk for a little bit. And then try to air out your differences. If it gets farther than that, which I really hope it doesn't, then there are points where the drama then escalates to everybody else. This is where it then starts to get ridiculous, especially in YouTube land, because YouTube land is a nightmarish place. Sometimes the drama on YouTube is over exaggerated, and then the drama gets worse. Am I the only one that feels that way?
Wait, you feel what?
Like, am I not like? Because what I said is that basically with YouTube, especially drama, can be like over exaggerated, and then
Yes.
and then people kind of
Oh, yeah. It can be exaggerated all the time.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I get it if it's a misunderstanding and everybody wants to, be like, all right, look, because sometimes things can be misinterpreted. It happens. But here's the problem with that, though. This is why I always say look at both sides first. Because for the most part, the people that are usually having this drama are actually not right at all. Both sides are not correct. That's why I do not take sides in any drama, and that's actually kind of what Zach brought up, is just to stay out of it. Especially if it does not involve the people that are, talking about the drama. If the people causing the drama are just people, trying to, keep the flames stoked in terms of drama, then stay out of it. If it has nothing to do with you, don't talk about it. That's all you people got to do. And again, it's not going to be one of those streams where I'm going to yell at people for being wrong. Because again, drama is not something that, again, sometimes it's understandable, other times it's not. Because at the end of the day, who cares? Like, okay, if something really personal happens, then okay, I might be able to understand. If it's something over like movies or just things in general, then I can't tolerate that shit. You know what I mean? We got Logan in the chat. Why is this dude Austin's mic sound like the McDonald's? You know what? That's a good question, Logan. That's a good question. And do you guys have anything you guys want to say in terms of just what I said, or if you guys have like anything to add?
Not much. It's just tired. It's like in a movie, just these old tired tricks, just we're over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Ninja, did you have anything to add?
All I have to say is that I just hate drama.
And here's another thing too, and I see this all the time. It's I see one person disagree, like two people are going to disagree, which then everything, all that, and then like friendships end over something stupid. It's to me, it's like, okay, like I'll use an example. Like if I'm friends with, like I'll use me and Ninja as an example. It's like, here's something stupid. If I said the Rise of Skywalker was bad, and Ninja was like, "Oh, I can't be friends with you anymore because you don't like something that I like," then
that's
like
completely retarded. Like legit, that's completely retarded.
Exactly. That's why I was trying to bring up is that people losing friendships over, oh, I don't like this.
Oh, we got Danny in the chat.
We got Danny in the chat. What's going on?
Danny.
What's going on, Danny? It's always great to see you. We're just talking about some drama stuff. Just talking about like drama and how to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's just like stuff like that's dumb. And I'll even use another example. It's like me and Zach it's like if I said I hated an X-Men movie and Zach was like, "Oh, I can't be friends with you because I like something that you don't like."
Yeah.
How dumb is that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
but I'm perfectly at terms with the fact that I probably wouldn't be the right type of person to critique the X-Men movies, but they're still special to me all the same.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine with opinions. Opinions we should not fight about.
Danny, just a quick question, real quick, just to go off a little bit off topic. Is it better than WandaVision for you, Danny?
Danny, we'll pray for you.
Probably he hates WandaVision.
We'll pray for you.
Danny said it's actually
oh.
watchable. I can't believe it.
I'm gonna have to watch the first episode of season 2 after this.
I won't touch that. Not just because of all the feminist propaganda, but it's just.
Well, Austin and I are gonna be starting to review season 2, so I have to.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through season 1 right now, and I'm
Be
only
like me.
I'm only on episode 2 of season 1. I can't get past the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, just be like me, where like I don't want to watch seasons 11, 12, or 13 of Ninjago. Be like me. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to.
Danny's like, fucking A.
Wait a minute. Danny. You didn't like WandaVision?
Yeah, he does not like
Yeah, he
WandaVision.
absolutely despises it. My suggestion, go check out yesterday's Storms Live. He said in the chat. Pretty sure the other Storms Live also.
He was was in
And
the chat.
also the Onzo stream.
Yeah, he was not happy about that.
Well, Danny, maybe it'll get better. Cause I'll just say I loved it. Like, I mean, not that I'm a Marvel shill or anything, but I'm just glad to have the MCU back. I'm intrigued by the mystery they're setting up, so it's slow. I'll give you this. I don't know if this may be a criticism Danny has, but I will say it is slow start so far. But they are building up towards something, and I look forward to seeing what it is.
It's Mephisto.
It
is probably.
It's like, you are correct. It's pretty much gorilla shit.
I'm correct, or
I've never heard anybody compare anything to that.
and what Kavar is saying right there about the Ray Fisher thing, I've heard about it, but I have no comment for the most part.
I have no comment because I don't really care about. Now, guys, don't attack me. Guys. I just don't care about Ray Fisher anymore. All right, I just want to.
He did this to himself. That's all I'll say. He did this to himself.
Okay, Zach. I just don't want to hear any more drama with Ray Fisher. So that's why I don't care about him right now, because he's just telling us drama, and it's like, we're talking about drama right now, how much we don't like it.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say with the Ray Fisher WB stuff, I don't care personally, because again, it has nothing to directly involve with me, but my thing is, if you don't have the proof, then just stop. Because this kind of goes back to fake drama and all of that. Because again, I understand, I get it, could it have happened? Maybe. Because we don't know anything. So on the one hand, it's we know something, because again, if they know something that we don't, then, but if Ray Fisher is going to come up with claims, then they have to say something about it. Or you got to give me something to, and I did hear that there was like a recording, I think, like an audio recording, I believe. But then again, I don't even know if that's even, I don't even know how to put it, but like, but just saying, like, is it possible that it could be, false? I don't know. It could have been something different. Not saying that I'm not saying that neither side is right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thing about it. I just don't really care. Danny says, I do not like it at all. Sometimes you can think too much outside the box. There is a saying, just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do something. Don't care WandaVision at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's fair.
Yeah, let's just hope it has a good payoff. I thought it was actually alright. Now that's probably going to change because of my theory so far that Mephisto's involved and that Wanda probably made a deal with Mephisto basically, and now she is in the gates of hell, and this is all her illusion or Mephisto's illusion, basically.
My theory is that Wanda is just bending reality itself. Maybe she's gone nuts because of losing vision.
It's possible.
That's possible, but I think it's more going to be Mephisto because we've already gotten teases of Mephisto within the second episode, as well as yeah.
Since we're going into a new era of the MCU, they're gonna have to put Magneto in there eventually, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the main topic because we are still. This is because granted, I don't get me wrong. I appreciate you guys. Because again, I do like talking about superheroes and stuff, but I feel like drama is kind of the main thing. That's why I brought up the Ray Fisher stuff, and that's why I brought up a lot of things because it has a lot to do with just drama in general. It's just
yeah,
people just sometimes cause fake drama for no reason.
Yes.
And a lot of times they create fake drama to give themselves attention.
Or it gets other people's attention.
Well, yeah, like that's what it mainly is. Am I saying that, again, I get it. For a lot of people sometimes that attention is great. But other times it's like, do you really want that kind of attention though?
Yeah.
There's a better way to go about it.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about in terms of drama or?
I think I've said all I feel. So, yeah.
This is all I said. This is all I'm gonna say, really. If you come at me with drama, I want to know the whole story, and don't bring everyone involved, if you understand. Like, just personally send me a DM, or just video chat me somehow. I don't know how. And just tell me what's wrong, and I'm gonna find a way to settle it, if you understand what I mean. Because back to the whole thing about like, oh yeah, the leader of my community wants to, like that type of stuff with the droid community, basically. My whole thing with that is like, why did you bring everyone involved? Also, it's like, why did you bring, like, there's other ways than bringing everyone involved, while it might just be you and one person, if you understand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What else should I say? And also, if you attack one of us, we're gonna come after you, probably. Like, seriously, we are defending people. We are a community, and we will defend everyone,
Right. But
and here's the thing, though. We won't create drama. That's one thing which I want to also say. Because
maybe not even respond at all, just to stay out of it, and eventually it'll go away.
Exactly. That is the best way of doing it. That is the best way of settling.
The only reason I brought
just take it like a
thing that happened to the only reason I brought that person up, the other thing that happened to me, to the attention of of the group is because he was a part of that group. Otherwise, I would have just dealt with him myself. You get it?
Mhm.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, and guys, I'm actually gonna be honest with you, and I'm even gonna tell the chat this. Most of the drama that we're talking about, guys, is from the Discord server. All right, because guess what? It's like everyone just argues over there, and I'm the manager, and guess what? I have to deal with all this type of drama, and it's kind of getting into like, I should just ban all of your asses. And I'm gonna be honest, that's just the truth. And I try to always handle everything. And guys, you gotta also realize I'm the manager of this Discord server. I'm the one who has to organize, make sure everyone's following the rules. If someone by accidentally said something mean, I have to go talk to that person because when I wake up every single morning, I usually have like 30 messages, all according to Rob's Discord server. So that's what I have. That's all the drama. And this week, this whole month, I'm going to actually say I've had like approximately maybe 14 cases of drama on this very Discord server and 2 just today. And guys, we should stop drama and unite together because we are a community. Storm Nation, the Chaos List, Droid community, whatever type of community you are, we should all be united. And no more drama. That's all that I'm gonna say.
And I guess that is a good point, Danny. They would have to completely erase Age of Ultron for that to work. I didn't even think of that.
And you're also right about that, Zach.
Yeah, maybe it is because I haven't seen Age of Ultron in about a year, so I kind of forgotten.
I feel like I think we just talked about the drama stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we did this in like 27 minutes. We kind of just like I wouldn't. I mean, it was more like a rambling type thing, but it was nice to kind of get off our chest, because again, this is just frustrating across the board, and I get what Ninja's saying because again, when I see this shit on Discord, it's ridiculous. There are times where it's not justified, and there are times where I get it, but do you really have to bring in the entire everybody into it? There's a difference about that. So, I mean, if you got, like I said, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but just learn, guys. Just learn from your guys. Just don't do things. Just don't do stuff that's like bad in terms of drama. That's all I gotta say. Jesus, we got done in like 28 minutes. I actually figured we would have went a little longer. I mean, I would like to at least try to go an hour or so. So, if you guys wanted, let's chat about stuff for a little bit. I mean, I kind of, because this is what usually happens. I do something serious for like the first maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then we're just going to like talk random shit for the rest of the night. So, because
I would. Oh, sorry. What?
No, I was going to say, that this is basically how these types of things go. It's more like a random stream, but it usually like the first 20 to 30 minutes will have like a serious topic, and then the rest of it we don't. So, I mean, I guess we could just talk about whatever until like an hour, and then we'll.
Yeah. I would like to elaborate a bit on what Danny said about Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always said, in order to make that work, they would have to retcon Age of Ultron, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm thinking more about it. But that also brings up another point, that just in general, would bringing in the X-Men actually work, story-wise? I don't think it would, actually. And here's why. Because what are the X-Men about? It's about prejudice, overcoming differences, and bigotry and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the MCU is a world where people, well, for the most part, you have Iron Man, Thor. People love superheroes. The Avengers are, for the most part, are loved and accepted. So to bring in the X-Men all of a sudden into the MCU, and then all of a sudden there's this group of people saying, hang the mutants or blah blah blah, whatever, kill them and stuff. Would that work? Would that make a lick of sense?
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. So Kevin Feige already confirmed that they're not coming in Phase 4. So this is what
Oh, I know, not Phase 4, just in general, whenever they come in.
I think this.
I don't think it'll work.
I think this is what should happen, Zach. Let Phase 4 be the phase where it's like they almost become infamous superheroes in a way. Like they are popular in the beginning, but then maybe some get framed, some does, that type of stuff by the end of Phase 4. Maybe the Avengers do. I don't know. Something like that. That would be very interesting. Especially
something's gonna have to happen to have this work.
Especially the Scrolls. Because now they're going to be doing Secret Invasion, if you remember.
They're gonna ruin Captain Marvel. Like, these Skrulls were good guys in the first place.
You do realize that they were bad in the comics, though, right?
Yeah, but the way they're setting up, they're the good guys, and all of a sudden they're villains. What the hell?
Well, here's the thing, which I'm gonna say. A lot of fans did not like that they were good guys all of a sudden.
Don't pander to these people, though.
No, but you don't understand. I also no.
I'm not saying you. It's just these shows. I'm saying don't pander to these people.
No, but here's the thing. The MCU, they don't have toxic fanboys. They're not like Star Wars, which they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's also not like the DCEU with Ray Fisher and Joss Whedon and everything. Marvel, I barely hear any drama besides Brie Larson. That's the
even then, I think that's a bunch of horse shit because I thought she was great.
No, there's there's politics involved with what she believes and all of that. But here's I don't even judge that. It's like people judge her perspective on that for films and all of that. Number one, I watched Captain Marvel and I look at that as just a Marvel movie. Like, is it a good Marvel movie? And are the characters good in it?
That's what I looked for too, and I thought it was a good time.
I thought it was an okay Marvel movie. Now, was it the best? No. Was it close to the best? No, no way. So, that's really that with it. It's just a generic Marvel movie. I will say, though, they should have replaced that movie with Black Widow.
Which I agree with. Okay. But actually kind of going on to something superhero related, I'm actually going back and rewatching all the DC animated movies from the animated universe. I actually just rewatched Flashpoint Paradox, and I'm like, this is a really good movie.
I loved that one.
I know people say, well, Apocalypse War was dark. This one was really dark too.
Man, this whole universe did not fuck around.
No, they did not. And with this first one too, especially, like, freaking, you saw like people get beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
And also you see Wonder Woman would kill Shazam, who's a kid, by the way. It's fucking it's like really gruesome. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like Apocalypse War levels of like gruesome and dark, but it's there. And I really do like the storytelling in Flashpoint Paradox as well.
Yeah, and you already saw Apocalypse War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only have one gripe with Apocalypse War. Because I loved every second of this movie up until the ending. And it's not even the fact that I hated the ending, it's just It's just they ended it too soon. Give them, I mean, not in the sense that they should copy what Days of Future Past did, but you'll just do what Days of Future Past did in general with like how, because they have Flash resetting everything, but it ends there. Have some other scenes after showing that everything's okay again, that the Teen Titans are back going doing what they're doing, when the Nightwing and Starfire are good. Just
Mhm.
that just so that everyone's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's all I wanted. That's
I
all I
understand.
wanted. If
I
that scene had been there, this would be a perfect movie.
It's almost like I even said with Mandalorian season 2, episode 8 at the end. It's like we did not see Kara take Moff Gideon back. We did not see Boba Fett pick up them. The last thing that we saw was Luke in the elevator with Grogu and R2. And that was it, really.
I think Moff Gideon's story is done, at least as far
No,
as
no, Moff
his
Gideon.
big story arc as the villain.
No, he's coming back. He's probably going to be the main villain in the spin-off show. Rangers of the New Republic.
I hope they don't take Boba, but do you agree with what I was saying, though, Austin?
I get what you're saying, and for the record, I might agree with you because even I would say I would like to see what happened afterwards, but at the same time, though, it's fine. I get, but then again,
it makes it feel more like an empty ending. I mean, I know he's gonna reset it, and that's what he's doing, but it's just that you want to actually see it, and actually see that everyone's okay again.
yeah, which more than likely they are. But I think the reason why they did that is because I have a theory because that entire animated universe, I would say, is more so based off the New 52. That they're going to go into the rebirth stuff if they decide to do another one of those animated universes.
Well, they did say Apocalypse War was going to be the final one of this universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I said, though, if they had just had, like, say, an extra 5 minutes or so before the credits roll, just to show that everything really is reset and that everyone's okay, it's all back to normal. Then yeah, this would be a flawless movie.
And I don't know if Danny is still in the chat, but I actually I watched Batman Ninja for the first time a few days ago. Don't get me wrong, it's not great. I will say it is not a good film. It is a little too silly, especially like I get it. It's supposed to be more like an anime type Batman movie, which I get. Like I said, I get that there's going to be appeal there. Is it my favorite movie in the DC? Anything animated DC? No. I think it does get a little too goofy, especially at the end where all like the villains like all their headquarters then turn into like a Megatron like villain. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
And I will say the Joker's voice actor was not that great.
Who portrayed him in this one?
That's actually a good question. But his portrayal really wasn't that good, and some of the character designs look bad. That's not even me being like a jerk. Like I'm being serious. Like I thought the designs looked bad.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate something. The Nightwing in these DC animated movies, that's Dick Grayson, right?
Yes.
Because I have a theory that maybe the Teen Titans in this version of the story may be a continuation of the classic Teen Titans show, but they're just older.
No.
No, I don't think so either because you see them meet Starfire for the first time in Judas Contract, and the way that they met was way different than how they met in the OG show. And I would even say the roster is different too because...
Yeah, because...
Well, you can make the argument that it's years later and that new people have come on board.
Starfighter, though.
God, they did Starfire so right in these movies, though.
But if I'm gonna be completely honest, my favorite character in like this entire universe is Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people said he was a little shit at the beginning, but then he got better.
Yeah.
I liked him from beginning to end.
Oh, I did too. I really liked him. I think he's like the really one of the few characters. Like I'm not saying none of the characters got any character development, but when you look at the character that got the most, I consider it Damien's like universe, like his franchise. Like that was basically based around him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you can also use the argument that it was the Justice League as a whole. But for the most part,
Yeah.
Damien, when you look at Son of Batman where he first appeared and then Apocalypse War, those are two completely different characters. Because in Son of Batman, let's be honest, Damien was an asshole.
Yeah, and that's like I was just saying. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, he started off as an annoying little shit per quota, but then he got better." But like I just said, I am one of the people that liked him from start to finish.
Yeah. I personally didn't care for him at the beginning. I'm like, all right, you know, he just because again, they did what the comics did. They basically used him at first to be kind of like Batman's handicap in a way. But once like he started to really develop as a character, and I even said like Damien and Raven's relationship is also really well developed.
Yeah.
And I was just so happy to finally see the Teen Titans done right again. It's like there is looking Teen Titans go in the eye and saying, "Go fuck yourself." And I was so happy.
Yeah, because I will even say like one of my favorite of this universe was actually Teen Titans: The Judas Contract.
I think that might be my favorite one, just in general. All the ones with the Teen Titans in it.
Because
any movie that Teen Titans in it, I don't know how to say it.
Because here's the thing, I really love Deathstroke, and they did Deathstroke really well in that film. Like Deathstroke's actually featured quite a lot in these films.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really liked about it. Is that yeah, he's not necessarily the main villain, but he was a cool villain whenever he showed up. He was definitely better than Arkham Origins Deathstroke, where they barely showed him. God, I'm so pissed about that. But another thing though too is like, and actually this is one of my least favorite animated films, is actually Justice League versus Teen Titans. Now, I'm going to explain why. I found it to be kind of misleading because they don't fight at all. Well, they do.
Don't they though? I thought they did.
They did, but it was like the Trigon versions of them. Like I wanted to actually see a Justice League versus Teen Titans movie. Like I like the idea of it being okay. They split in because again, the Justice League's like, look, you know, Trigon's going to show up because they don't want Darkseid to happen again. So they're like, okay, we want Raven to come with us, and then Teen Titans like, no, and then they fight, like kind of like Batman v Superman. But if the story, because I feel like the movie is kind of misleading in a way. Like I'm not saying it's completely misleading, but it is kind of like really. Yeah. Because even by the poster, it's like it's kind of misleading because there was no Trigon on the cover. It was just, you know, Justice League Teen Titans. Oh my, okay, this could be cool. Then I watched and I'm like, really? I was kind of disappointed with that. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying as a disappointing film, Justice League versus Teen Titans would be my least favorite.
My least favorite is actually Justice League Dark.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because I actually hated it or anything. It's just because I'm not familiar nearly at all with Constantine or any of that weird out there stuff they went with, you know?
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like I thought Justice League Dark was fine. It was an okay movie. And like, because I think like those two films that we just mentioned were just like they were the ones that were okay. Like they weren't like, don't get me wrong, they do play a part in the overall story, but for the most part, you could skip Justice League Dark at least the first. You shouldn't skip Justice League Dark, but it's not a film you have to watch.
Yeah.
And actually another film that I didn't really care for. Well, actually, this is like just the animated stuff in general. I actually did not like The Killing Joke.
I didn't like it either. Only because it tried to. Only because of the filler stuff they put in when just a simple, like, 45 minute long movie would have been fine. It felt like they just put in all that filler just so they could get it to, like, an hour and a half or so.
Well, and I always say this, when it actually tries to be The Killing Joke, it's actually a good movie. But the problem with the movie is that the first hour kind of kills it.
Yeah, and I hated the stuff with Batman and Batgirl.
Oh, that was bad. I hated that. Oh man, there's like another. What's another one that? Oh, did you see the new Superman animated movie called Man of Tomorrow?
I'm checked out of any more animated films just because this one animated universe they did so well, and it just feels like they're just trying to cash in and just recapture it again when it was done near flawlessly the first time.
We got Nerd Cave here saying, "I fucking
So-
love WandaVision. Could not care less for Batwoman season 2." Yeah, because like I said before, I tried watching the first episode of. I'm trying to get through the first season of Batwoman, and I just cannot do it. It's just the first 2 episodes are just so unwatchable. Like it's bad. But I do see what you're saying, Zach. But the thing is, though, too, before like those like that animated universe, they had a ton of animated movies beforehand that really weren't connected. Like I get why they're gonna go back to doing stuff like that because there is still stuff you can do in that universe, but it's like at the same time though, there's not a whole lot you can really do in a sense because that was your big, huge, really huge story. Unless they were going to do Dark Knight's Metal and they were going to set up to that, I just don't know where else you could go.
I know, right? Like, it's just
Because
okay.
they've done so much with, the DC animated films, you really couldn't go that far.
So yeah, like I'm sure they're still gonna make other good animated movies, but it's just I have this perfectly fine 15-part story where I like pretty much every single one.
And actually, I'm going to say, be honest, I actually kind of prefer Superman Doomsday over The Death of Superman.
I haven't seen that one.
Which one, Doomsday or Death of Superman?
Doomsday. I
That was
haven't
like
seen.
one of the very first animated films they did. It's really good. I think I like it more just because it's nostalgia reasons. And it was cool seeing like evil Superman and black suit Superman fight. That was cool.
Yeah.
But I did like how with Death of Superman they had the actual Justice League fight Doomsday. Like Doomsday is awesome. Like I know a lot of people might say, "Well, Doomsday's okay." Doomsday's awesome.
And
Yeah,
and I also think the Death of Superman pretty much got him right too.
yeah, because that's what Doomsday should be. Is he's supposed to be this freaking killing machine?
And to be fair, I know it's not how the comics did it, but I thought he was kind of cool in Batman v Superman as well.
That I might have to disagree with you on because even though I thought BVS wasn't bad, my biggest complaints with the movie is actually Doomsday. Doomsday was not needed at all. They really rushed into the Death of Superman like way too soon. I get why they did it though. I'm not saying oh, I hate it because of it. No, I'm just saying personally, I just don't prefer it.
Yeah. And it does. I know the movie goes into that cliche I've always said I hated, where they fight, but then they find out they have a common enemy. I actually give an exception to BVS because it is Lex Luthor, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the problem is though too, if they were gonna do something like that, they should have made a 2-part film. The first part being Batman v Superman, and then have part 2 be like World's Finest, because to me it's like the problem is with Batman v Superman. Like, don't get me wrong, BVS, like I said, the ultimate cut is probably the best version of the film, but that doesn't mean that the movie is perfect. I think the movie is very flawed still. Because the problem is Doomsday is still bad, Lex Luthor is still bad. Some of the plot points are not that good.
I'm gonna be completely honest about Jesse Eisenberg. Should I really say it? Am I really gonna cross this bridge?
I don't know I don't like where you're going with it, but
Jesse
sure.
Eisenberg, he's growing on me. With his portrayal of Lex, it's grown on me.
To me, it's like I have to see more of him first before I can really give an opinion, because there are certain characters where I'm like, no, like definitely get rid of him. But with Lex in the DCEU, I think I need to see more of him because and like I said, Justice League is shit. But at least I could say is that like at the post-credit scene, he acted like him.
Yeah.
I think
Do you think him and the Snyder Cut will be just the same thing, or do you think we'll see more of him?
That's the thing. I think we might see a little bit more of him, but I don't think he's going to be in the entire film.
Yeah.
He might have a role. I wouldn't say he will have like a big role to play, but he'll definitely have like I would say a major part.
Yeah. Did you hear, by the way, that they're not doing releasing it in parts anymore? They're just releasing the whole thing now.
Yes, I did.
You excited?
I'm fine with it. Like I said, I probably would have preferred that anyway. Rather than it being a 4-part thing.
I'm so excited for this.
Because don't get me wrong, like, but again, I say this is the one thing that I'm scared for when it comes to the Snyder Cut. It's either going to be the greatest DC movie, or it's going to be the most disappointing DC film. Because
And is it blasphemy to say that even with that we're finally getting more Marvel stuff again, that the Snyder Cut is probably my most anticipated superhero film all year?
which I wouldn't blame you. I would honestly say, like, I would probably say that as well. But again, it's like the problem is with the Snyder Cut, and I always say this, is people are either going to overhype it or they're going to overhate it, because they're going to be the Snyder fans are going to be like, oh my god, this movie's going to be what. Don't get me wrong, I hope it's better than the first Justice League movie we got.
Oh, it's gonna be like either way, it's bound to be better.
But I'm going to use this example. When I watched Arrow season 3, that was bad. I'm like, well, it can't get any worse, can it? And then I watched Arrow season 4, and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. So it's just like, personally, my thing is, it's like, when people say, well, it can't be as bad as the original, like, don't get me wrong, I hope it's not, which I don't think it is. But it's overall, the thing that really scares me is how, because again, personally, I will feel really bad for those fans who really wanted to see this movie, only for then the movie to be shit.
Yeah.
Because that's going to suck.
Yep. And Kavari, for the record, I did like BVS, and I do like Man of Steel, so yeah.
Let's get to Kavari's quote. The heavy CGI in the third act was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a disgusting movie. Very disgusting. Justice League.
I think he might have also been talking about BVS too.
Now, and here's the thing: even with the theatrical cut, yeah, they cut out a lot of stuff and all, but I still really enjoy it. It's not that if I would ever choose to watch that over the Ultimate Edition, but just for novelty, I would pop on the theatrical cut every now and then.
Yeah, I have the Ultimate version on HBO Max, which I definitely recommend people spend their $15 on, because it is definitely a very good streaming service.
Yep. And then you got Snyder Cut in March. Man, DC, I think, will finally be able to compete with Marvel.
Let's hope, even though Wonder Woman 1984. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Kavar says, who thought casting Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor was a good idea? Well, here's the thing. I think if he was given a really good script, I think he could do it, because Jesse Eisenberg is a very good actor.
Yeah. And that's probably why it's growing on me, because don't get me wrong, I know it's not Lex Luthor. Like, I know that's not, you know what I'm trying to say, but I think it's parts of the fact that that it is Jesse Eisenberg, and I really like him as an actor, and I thought that his performance personally was good, so that's probably why it's growing on me.
Yeah, I would get that.
Yeah.
Kavari's also like, save Martha.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, it's memeable. Let's be honest, it is. It is a
Yeah,
very
but
memeable moment.
Yeah, but I do get what they're going for, because it's not just because we both have our mothers both have the same name. It's because Batman waking up and realizing he's not just killing some alien; he'd be taking a son away from his mother, and vice versa, or something like that.
Yeah, and then that's
Realizing that he's kind of gone too far.
yeah, because when you look at the entirety of that film, Batman is not like but even though he's not like Batman, I really did like Affleck's performance.
Yeah, I love this Batman. Like, depending on how it goes with the Snyder Cut, he might end up being my new favorite Batman.
Yeah, and I would say like Affleck was really good, and I think people kind of really underrate him in a sense where yes, is he as good as Keaton? No. God no. Is he better than Bale? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not shitting on Christian Bale. I think Christian Bale is a good actor. But because again, I usually say this with Bale, I don't blame him. I blame the fact that again, I think Bale was good for what he was given. The voice was stupid. I get why they had to do the voice, but I thought even then I do think it's stupid. But it's not necessarily like my biggest complaint with Bale at all. Like I think Bale was fine, especially with the movie he was given. I think
He was
Affleck
a
is
better
definitely
Bruce Wayne than he was as Batman.
yeah. It's kind of like George Clooney in a way, but
Yeah,
the
like
thing is
it's
though,
kind of. I mean, not that I think Christian Bale was bad, but it is kind of like where George Clooney could really pull off a good Bruce Wayne. I think we could agree.
yeah. And the thing is with Bale too, it's like I know we shit on the voice, and yeah, he might not be as the best Batman, but he does have
I
some really cool.
actually, I actually thought his voice was pretty good in Begins.
But I always say this though, like Bale's Batman had some really cool scenes. Like
Yeah,
that interrogation scene in The Dark Knight was awesome.
that's like legendary at this point. Like, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and I would even say that, and even the ending of The Dark Knight I thought was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get why he did it. Now, am I saying The Dark Knight is the greatest movie ever? No. It's not.
One thing about Dark Knight, I'm actually confused as shit by.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Batman, because they're saying, we gotta cover it up. They must never find out what he did. What did he do?
Oh,
I
at
mean,
the end?
but no. I mean, no, they're implying that he done something else before.
Um, I don't remember because I haven't seen The Dark Knight in a while. Now, but I was gonna say, is it an overrated movie? No. I think it's a movie that gets too much praise.
Yeah, it's not even in my top 3 Batman movies.
Oh, it's not for me either, but I would say it's a very good movie that I think
Oh
I
yeah.
would I would still say it's a very good movie, and I would say to definitely watch it. But I would say it's a movie that I would say watch once. It's more like a maybe one watch film, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I know me wrong. I have the DVD and all that, so I've seen it quite a few times over the years. But I get it, like, because I'll just say I like Batman Begins more.
The thing is, I like the Dark Knight trilogy as a whole because I think it's just a really good story because it's kind of like the Star Wars original trilogy where it's just an entire story but it's cut up into parts. Like the Dark Knight trilogy
Yeah.
was well done. You could say, well, the Dark Knight Rises doesn't have the Joker. Again, they had to work around that because Ledger passed away like a couple months afterwards.
And it makes you wonder, though, if Ledger hadn't died, do you think his character would have been in Rises as well?
He probably would have had a role, I would think. Because don't get me wrong, I get it. I'm not saying that because the people that say, "Oh, the Dark Knight's overrated," I get it. Because I agree. I don't think it's because to me there's two definitions. I say there's overrated and overpraised.
Yeah,
overrated means overrated to me means more like it's a movie that I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. And then there's the other side where it's overpraised, meaning it's a really good movie and it does deserve the praise that it gets, but at the same time, people praise it too much.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If people were to say it's their favorite Batman movie, I wouldn't argue that. I could see it being that for some people because it does have a lot of those qualities.
Right.
For people to say that it's even one of the greatest superhero films ever made, not the greatest, but one of, I wouldn't argue that either. Because even though I like Begins more, I do think Dark Knight is still one of the greatest comic book films ever made. But if they were to say it's the greatest ever made, I would say that's overpraised.
Yes, because I'm like, because to me, is it in like the top 10? For some people, it might be. For me, no.
Yeah, and I could get that, but
because to me, like Spider-Man 2 better than Batman or The Dark Knight? The Dark Knight, yeah, it is. Is Days of Future Past better than Dark Knight? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for me especially, like, because me and my bias with X-Men.
Is Winter Soldier better than Dark Knight? Yeah.
That one I would definitely agree. Winter Soldier is awesome.
Is Infinity War better than Dark Knight? Of course.
Oh, hell yeah. And it might be the greatest MCU film ever made.
Is The Dark Knight better than Birds of Prey? Yes. I will even say it's better than
that. I would say. But Birds of Prey was still a lot of fun though. That's the one thing I'm really putting emphasis on. That movie was a blast to watch in theaters.
For me, it was okay. Like, I thought it was an okay movie. It wasn't anything special. Because the problem is with me in terms of Birds of Prey is it's kind of false marketing because they call it Birds of Prey when they should just call it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Because that's what it should have been called, but I thought it was okay. It was average.
And when or if they do reboot the DCU, one thing I hope they keep, because if they reboot the DCU, that means they're probably going to recast some people, or maybe recast everyone. But I would implore them at the very least to keep Margot Robbie. Because she might be my favorite thing in this whole DCU. Or at least one of my things.
I would say do not reboot. Do like a soft reboot where certain things happen, certain things don't.
Yeah.
And that makes any sense.
Because this Snyder Cut is obviously going to retcon the Justice League, so...
And Kavari said if you did not... I think Kavari's saying as everybody in general, if you didn't like BVS or Man of Steel, you probably won't like Snyder Cut. Which, to be fair, he's kind of right. Because if that was the... Because like I said, I enjoyed Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I will like Snyder Cut, hopefully. But again... I guess there's just more to be seen. One of the best parts of Joss Whedon's Justice League is Superman. Other than the mustache CGI, I thought he was fine.
Yeah. And you know what? With the Snyder Cut, believe it or not, I would even say there's one thing from Justice League. There's one scene in Justice League that I would keep the same in the Snyder Cut. His entrance at the end, where he's like, well, I believe in truth. I'm also a big fan of justice. And he punches him, and you have that big musical overtone and all that. I actually really like that scene. Like, that was legitimately well done, and so much so that if they kept it the same in the Snyder Cut, I would be very fine with that.
Yeah, and actually one scene that I really think not a lot of people talk about is when they revive Superman and they fight him. I like towards the end of that where Batman's like, oh shit, I'll forget and then like Superman like throws him into a car and then Batman's like, the world needs you, and Superman's like, but does the world need you? And then he's like, tell me, do you bleed? I'm like, oh shit, that was cool.
Yeah,
and then
that was well done too.
but
But
it just
but
it
then
sucks.
you have the
So
but then you have where it gets really stupid though, where the whole Flash movie is like, you know,
I mean, well, like when Flash and Superman doing that, it made sense because Superman and Flash are basically as fast as one another.
oh no,
But it was
I like
kind of
the
dumb.
idea that Superman. It's not that they did. It's just that they had Flash looking that like that. That ridiculous looking face. Like, are you kidding me with that shit?
Now, Kavari has a good question: Logan versus Joker.
Logan. That's my favorite superhero movie of all time. I'm probably gonna choose Logan over a lot of the most well-regarded superhero films, if I'm honest.
You know what? I'm actually going to agree with you. I'm going to say Logan because as much as I think Joker is a good movie, I think Joker's another one of those films that's more like a one watch and then you're done type
I've
movie.
actually seen it a few times. Like, I think it has that rewatch value to it, but it's one of those movies where it's heightened more by the theatrical experience.
Yes. And don't get me
Whereas
wrong.
Logan was great in the theaters and is still great on the small screen.
Yeah, and the thing is though too with Joker is that Joker to me is more of a movie and then done. Do not make a sequel. Do not make anything else. Just say that's your one and done film. Logan was the end to a story, like it was an end to Logan's story.
Yeah,
Both
I mean,
both
it
films
followed off of
are
Days of Future Past, and because that's something I'm probably going to elaborate more on it when I talk about it in my X-Men ranking. But by all accounts, I should hate this movie, and you probably know what I mean because you know how Days of Future Past ended, trying to fix everything, but then in Logan, you know what I'm saying.
yeah, but I also say though too with when it comes to time travel though, it could cause something to be worse. Because it's like a domino effect. If one piece falls, everything else begins to fall apart.
Yeah.
So you
So
fuck
that's my
something.
argument. So
Yeah.
on paper, sounds like a movie that's like you'd be like it should be like I should hate this movie because it undoes what Days of Future Past did in a way where they're all just dead again. Like this time everyone's dead, but it's still a thoughtful, really emotional and just deep, insightful character study, and it's great.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Kavar said Snyder said that the Snyder Cut will be his last DC movie.
Yeah.
I would not be so. Again, I know there's going to be people that are going to say, "Well, Snyder said that there's rumors that Snyder could make his own universe after." But I'm like, no, because especially after what WB did to him, I'm not surprised that he's going to be like, "This is my last film."
And and that means we're probably never gonna get another Justice League movie.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that Zach is getting the chance to kind of show what he wanted to do with Justice League because
Does that mean that this would technically be the final installment of his universe? I mean,
uh,
like in terms of, are we gonna see finality with these characters?
that's a good question.
Like, if it's gonna be a final film, does that mean he would be wanting to wrap up the stories he started, or is it just the fact that he's coming back to fix the movie that WB fucked up?
I mean, it could be a combination of both.
I mean, I know that's what he's doing already, but is it just gonna be that? But is there also gonna be those certain touches where there's gonna be closure with this Batman, this Wonder Woman, and all that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, if this is Snyder's last film, I think this universe is start with Snyder, and if this is the case, then it should end with Snyder.
Yeah. I think that rebooting it is
Because
probably the way to go.
WB is just gonna fuck it up again
And I'll even say this,
because they always do.
and I say this, I don't even blame the DCEU failing on Zack. I blame it on WB.
Oh, I never blamed him. It's just
Because
for me, it's always just been a matter of fact that people have either liked it or hated it, and but I've never blamed him. No. You know what I mean?
And I get it. To me, it's one of those things where it's like, I understand if people were like, listen, it's just not appealing. The dark stuff's not appealing to me, which I get it. It's not for everybody. Like, because I know a lot of people like Marvel for it being a little bit more lighthearted, but I do like DC more because it's dark.
And there's more realism in a way.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next up, Ray Fisher continues to try to destroy the DC franchise with all his allegations. Trust me, we got into that earlier on. I'm not going to go back into it. All I got to say is,
all I'll say is he did this to himself, and he can either try to pick himself up, or he just or this may be the end of his career. I don't know.
well, and also my thing is too. I always say this though as well is, until I see proof, I just can't believe him. Let's hope JJ gets Superman right. Visually, I think he can. I just don't want him to write it. If that makes any sense. Not necessarily. He doesn't have to write it, but he doesn't have to. Hey, Zach, you still there? Hey, Zach, you frozen there? He might be frozen, guys. Looks like Grant Gustin will show up in Ezra Miller's Flash. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, my internet fucked up. So, what were you saying?
I would say, oh crap, hang on. I just put myself full screen. I personally, I even said, like, as far as JJ getting Superman right, I think visually he will. I just think that I just would like someone else to write it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying that I'm not saying he's a bad writer. I just think I would like to see someone else do it. Looks like Grant Gustin will show up in Ezra Miller's Flash. Again, I mean, it'd be cool. Not necessarily saying I'm excited for it though, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wait, J.J. Abrams?
No. Grant Gustin is showing up in Ezra Miller's Flash.
Well, I don't know this Grant Gustin, so that'll be new to me.
He's basically the CW's Flash.
Yeah.
Kavar says yes.
That actor, I see.
Kavar's like, yes, we will get other Justice League movies with James Wan after Aquaman 2.
But it's gonna be something different though, and I loved reading Snyder's outline for what his movies were gonna be.
Yeah, because they're all gonna lead up to Darkseid and Apocalypse.
And DC won't have, and because DC wants to go lighter with these movies now, it's like Disney. They won't have the balls to go dark or serious anymore.
But it's like
it's what Snyder wanted to do, and he was in the right to do what he did. But WB is gonna backtrack on that something fierce.
And that's the thing though too with like DC, everything's dark regardless. I mean, look at what they're doing in the comics. The Batman Who Laughs, Deceased. They have all like these really dark things, and even the animated films, Apocalypse War. Like they don't have to be lighthearted.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just gonna say it. How Midnight would probably say, "Oh, you're just DC hater," but no, it's like I'm just the better universe was the animated one. It was better constructed because it took its time and built up characters. So a lot of the stuff with the way they ended, it felt earned.
Right. And I even say this. I get why they didn't necessarily go into a lot of origin stuff is because we basically know all these characters already. we already know who Batman is. We know that, okay, we know how he becomes Batman, so they don't go into his origin story in BVS,
Yeah.
which I like.
So I actually will give them credit. A lot of people say, "Oh, they just rushed Batman into this," but no, I'm like, I actually say Batman's introduction to this was done really well.
Yeah. Kavari says, I blame both WB and Zack Snyder. To a degree, I'm not saying everything Snyder's done is perfect.
Well, it's not that I think they're perfect, but it's just like I'm just one of the people who says, I like what he's done, and it's gonna be sad to see him go.
Yeah, because he did, and Kavari says James Wan is a horror director. I mean, hey, I'd be really cool to see how.
I mean, it's not to say that I think James Wan wouldn't be able to craft any good Justice League movie because hell, I can't even compliment Aquaman anymore because of her.
Hmm.
Like, and I'm just gonna say that Aquaman's a movie that I feel like I wouldn't even want to watch anymore because she's in it.
I get it.
It makes the DC universe very problematic for me because
Because I believe she's also in the Snyder Cut.
then I'll just skip over her scenes.
Also, Jared Leto's there too, which I have no idea how I feel about it.
Wait. Why?
That's a good question. Even I said, why?
What will his place be? What purpose?
Again, that's a very good question. I don't know.
I'm one of those more critical people where I say, like in this particular thing, because Jared Leto was a terrible Joker. Don't try to fix it because with any movie or character, whatever, once a bad performance, always a bad performance. It can never be fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, not just with Jared Leto, but with anything.
Yeah, and I would say overall, I just if I hear him say anything about like his loins, I'm gonna be upset. Yeah, if he even says like the fire in my loins,
Honka honka.
oh my god, I'd be like, hell no, this shit gets an F.
I mean, I won't F it just because of it. It's just like I'll just because now that I know that um Amber Heard's gonna be in it and Jared Leto's gonna be in it, I'll just skip over their scenes and I'll still be able to enjoy the movie. Aquaman's more problematic just because she's a central character, which makes it harder for me to watch.
Yeah. But I think with that being said, unless we have other comments here, that I am gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
This was actually a very nice stream. It's not
Yeah.
like I don't know how to say, but it's more like it wasn't like I know we didn't really get a whole like we went a little bit into the drama stuff, which I thought that was nice to get off our chest, and it was nice talking about DC and just films and like this was nice. I definitely will. I would like to do like just another. Maybe I'll just do a live discussion tomorrow where we're just gonna have like a random stream. We can just talk whatever.
Yeah.
Because I love these types of streams. I love being able to talk random stuff. So
Yeah, and I might set up a stream in like maybe a week or so talking about things I want them because like say if they reboot the DC or whatever, things that I want them to preserve from Zack Snyder's universe, like actors that I'd want them to keep, storylines I'd want them to keep, stuff like that.
that actually would be a cool idea because, like I said, I'm not saying the DCEU is actually going to get rebooted, but the DCEU is more
Yeah,
than
because this Flashpoint movie's probably gonna retcon some stuff.
probably. Actually, I would like to see. I think because Pattinson's not going to be the Batman in that universe anymore. I think they're going to do something where Robert Pattinson's going to be the Batman for that universe due to Flashpoint. But then again, that might be I think that might just be a little far-fetched. But with that being said, though, Zach, tell everybody what to find you at.
Dude, she's in the server right now. Her.
Oh. You know what? I'm just and again, I just want to go back into it. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
Don't give this person any attention. Just let it go. With that being said, though, Zach, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Y'all can find me on my channel, Zach Axiola. Like I said, that is a live stream. Like I said, I might do in about a week or so. Like things from Zack Snyder's universe, storylines and characters that I would want them to keep in this like reboot per se of the DCU that they're bound to do. Something like that.
Very nice. I have a YouTube channel, The Osnator, where I have over 100 subs. I'm trying to get to 150. I do a bunch of streams. I do certain streams like this. I also do 3 shows per week. I do a show called Shadow Eye on Sundays. We're going to be reviewing The Office Season 4. And God forbid, if I can get it done in time, Batwoman Season 2. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. Also, I have a show on Thursdays called Splash Talk, where we just read fun fan fiction. It's always fun stuff. And also, I have a wrestling show called Good Old Wrestling on Fridays, so go check that out. Also, I'm on the Real Review 3000 Chris Knight's channel on Sundays for the weekly wrap-up. Mondays on JJ's channel for Randomness at its finest, which I think he's still going. Also, you can find me sometimes on LDG's Backstage, Geeks Enjoy Nerderotica. And also, you can find me sometimes on Bigger Board Entertainment, Anzo's channel for whenever he does his game streams. And you can find me on Zach's channel, Ninjoid's channel, basically everybody's channels. Also, you guys can find me on Twitter at TheAusinator17. So if you ever just want to message me and hit me up, go ahead and do so. Also, I have Discord at The Ausinator, which I might be getting rid of soon. But like I said, fingers crossed. Now, with that being said, though, guys, thank you guys for watching. This is The Ausinator and Zach.